Hey guys, greetings. Welcome to Vibing with Yessayana. Yessayana's Way. I'm your host, Mz Hartfield, Mz. So put some respect on that mother name, okay? Listen, guys, we're going to talk about it. I told you that there is a horrible evil going on under the sun in Harris County, Texas, involving inmates and involving the deaths of inmates, okay, and how their family was told that, was informed by social media, and these people weren't even like convicted of crimes yet. This is just going through the jail system, waiting to be, um, arraigned and seen and brought before a judge. Okay, some what's my girl's name? Tanisha Chappelle. Hmm. But y'all know how we do it, so we're gonna just give this 2 minutes. We're gonna buy. I'm looking for a nice DMX instrumental remake. It's like black folks catching it all over the world. Did that lighten up some guys? I was hoping that was gonna lighten up. Yeah, I see the difference. So guys, sometimes I get up throughout the middle of the night and I might check my phone to see what's popping, what news is trending. And I just be scrolling through my feed. So something may pop up where it's like, hold up, what? Hold on, why I haven't heard anything about this? This news is 2 days later. You know what I mean? Like, why I haven't heard anything about this? Talk to me. Talk to me. Why are we not hearing anything about this? These crimes that are being committed in these prisons. Talk to me. Hmm. I'm just asking. This lady said, she on the Jimmy Stone's mission. No stone unturned. She said, you're going to get it for this one. This one we about to make some noise on. We want to spread this. We asking for the feds to take this prison over because there's too many deaths going on up in there. It's mad inhumane treatment going on up in there. Hey, these are people who are supposed to make sure that you are following the prison rules and the policy and also protect you while you're in their custody. But they have a young man that is also speaking out about what happened to him in those prisons because they be having the militia. Yeah, the militia. Uh-huh. The militia will come deep up in your cell and break every bone in your body if they can, but beat you nearly to death. And then you know what they do? according to this brother's testimony who have experienced this. He said they was going to put him in a holding cell. After they beat them up, they put them in a holding cell. I think we've seen this behavior. Like, what's the girl's name? The Tanisha Chappelle, remember they did that to her too. They kept asking her when she was asking for help. They was like, huh? What's wrong? What? We can't hear you. But meanwhile, she was suffering from poison that one of her cellmates gave her because they didn't like her based upon the color of her skin. This right here, you know what? We're going to have to pray. We're going to have to pray. We're going to have to bring this to God. We're going to have to listen to their story. And we're going to have to bring this to God so that the correct people get charged accordingly for this crime, for these horrific crimes. I mean, young men going into jail and not even being able to see, uh, was that a jury of their peers? Don't you think that something's wrong with that? As a citizen that pays taxes, that follows the law, that, believe in policy, believe in law, when is anyone exempt from it, that it continuously goes on and get the statue of liberty treatment, the blind eye, the unequal scales? That's all. Well, that's my side, but we're gonna now listen to their side, the people who's actually experiencing this, okay? It's so heartbreaking. It's so sad. Like, I don't want to ruin your day. This is bad news. It ain't good. It's not good news, okay? It's heartbreaking news. It's like, when will it ever stop news? Okay? Brother, this brother. He always in everything. Remember, I was talking about the Malia Davis case? He was the brother that broke the story about them being involved with the murder of that little girl, the mother and the boyfriend.
About what is happening here at the Harris County Jail. Enough is enough. There are too many young African American men and black men, period, dying in this jail under very suspicious circumstances. There are too many deaths.
That is the issue that is going on over here in Harris County Jail in Texas. Too many black men are dying under suspicious circumstances after entering into their prison system. Okay, they're being lied on. They're doing like all type of fraud and corrupt acts. Come on now, okay? So we're about to listen to my brother, and this is the source of this is KRPC, to click to Houston, because they're having a press
As
conference.
we've been seeing here lately, that's being charged with violating the human and civil rights of inmates in this jail. Just because a man is charged with a crime does not mean he's guilty of that crime. And just because a man is charged with a crime does not mean that he no longer has human and civil rights and constitutional protections.
Amen.
The Harris County Jail has become the house of death in Houston, Texas.
Wow.
This is the biggest funeral home, the biggest morgue.
The biggest funeral home, the biggest morgue in the city of Houston, Texas, the jailhouse, where you just go and book people and arraign people. It's a process. It's supposed to be a due process. So when you feel to neglect the duty of doing the job, and it's become personal, that you become the same thing that you're supposed to be making protecting like the prisoners. Why would you treat prisoners that way when what do they have to lose? They already lost their freedom. Why would you treat them that way? Like it's already something wrong with putting men in fucking cages anyways. If you haven't heard the memo, it's just something wrong with that. When you think cage, you think test monkeys. You know the monkeys they test on, like experiment on, and test out, trial drugs before they give them to people. Come on. When you sit comfortable with that, you have neglected your American duty. You understand? You're not supposed to sit comfortable with a prison house having many deaths. That's abnormal. And they all be down with it. If you hear that brother's story about how they was trying to do him and the people intervene, man, the devil got a lot of people places, and that's why we try to inform you and tell you you don't want to go there, you don't want to be in these predicaments, and you really need to pray up. You know what I mean? When you wake up in the morning, give God the praise, the glory, ask for his protection. When you out here in these streets, I don't know how things turn deadly, but for some people, they do. Okay? For some people, they don't have a chance in the universe when they encounter certain situations. My heart goes out to these people. And I don't know all the details. I don't know all the details. I don't know anything. I know some of them are in there for murder, but the bottom line is they're in jail for a crime they committed. So they did an act and then they went to jail, and now they're supposed to go before their their jury of peers or peer of jury or whatever that is, but their peers, and they supposed to be like either yay, be found guilty of that crime or exonerated of it. But these people weren't even getting the choice to go before their peers or a judge. And that is disturbing when people like you and I take the law into our own hands. If you're the one who is supposed to be well educated, well reserved, well trained, know how to respond and act under pressure, and it's supposed to be about de escalating. How do it turn deadly? Pardon me. I mean, like, you be thinking, damn, my baby's coming home. And then you go like, damn, your baby's dead. That don't even go together. They got their own hitmen in jail. Their own hitmen in jail. And like I said in one of my shorts, silence is worse than no snitching. It's all the same. But nobody want to die and no one's protected. But these people can't quit their jobs. You know what I mean? These people can't do that. They be Kanika Jenkins and people, man. But we're here to bring awareness. I am here to bring awareness to this story so it can get the attention that it needs. And what we're asking is the federal government take over this prison, clean that shit up. And we don't mean the inmates, okay? We mean some of your people that's supposed to be protecting the inmate is acting like criminals. And it's unfair to us, the taxpayers. That's what we talking about over here. Get your shit together, okay? Stop playing with me. Hold on, back to this story. So I'm gonna listen to this, okay, and watch it.
Harris County is a Harris County jail. It is sad to learn that this place is so severely understaffed. This place is extremely overworking workers and deputies who are so frustrated with stress to where now you now don't have the appropriate funds to hire the appropriate people to work in facilities like this. You're picking and choosing from the bottom of the barrel because you don't have the money to hire qualified people that should be working in jails like this with some sense of humanity.
No, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. What are you doing with the money that you get paid per inmate? What are you doing with that money? Because I'm pretty certain every year you get a budget. And don't believe that these people are the bottom of the barrel. Okay? These people ain't your brothers and sisters and relatives down at the corner or in your house that can't get a job when they applied for one. These are their relatives, buddies, and friends. Nepotism, they call it. All right? Let's not pretend here. These are well selected people. These aren't just people that's out here hitting the crack pipe and shit. Okay? Let's not get this twisted. These people are smart enough to do the act, cover up the act, cover all ends from media, from the front to the back. From the media to the places to the documents. This is meticulous plotted. This is meticulously plotted and planned. So budget has nothing to do with why they treated these people like this. What we talking about, Willis? Don't put that in the universe. Put the truth out here. These motherfuckers ain't shit. These people don't got criminal records, okay? They don't have like, substance abuse problems and issues. This is called systemic, because this is a way of culture in that organization. This is what they do. If you hear that man's story and you be like, what happened and how they be moving people and lying on them, Lord, my God, you got to pray for your people in jail, man. It's some evil wickedness going on under the sun in Harris County Jail. Huh? Let's listen.
Being stomped, being choked, being slammed, necks broken, backs broken, arms broken, internal bleeding, organs being punctured from beatings at the hands of deputies. This is a fact. Enough is enough. Too many young men are dying in this jail, and we demand immediate changes right now to what is taking place in this jail. This place is the house of death.
Listen, that's what's happening here. We're bringing awareness to the story, demanding immediate changes for this jailhouse and the citizens in there and their families who was concerned about them out here. Okay? Deputies beating the shit out of your children. You can't even beat the shit out of your children. And unfortunately, these are adults, but they still your child. Come on, let's talk about it. What we talking about? If it ain't the truth over here. See, when you have your mama used to say this, a hard head make a soft ass. When you go to these places, it's not a place of chilling and relaxation. You better hear these stories so you will know what the hell is going on and you can stay out of harm's way. Because that's exactly what this is, harm's way. And when you don't listen to your mother and you don't listen to the right thing, then this is the devil and all his people out here talking to you. God said, you ain't got to listen to me, but this is what God puts over you. Okay? Poor, 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 inhumane treatment when you go to those places. It still doesn't justify them killing and beating these people and breaking their body parts and doing criminal behavior to them. It doesn't justify them acting like a criminal. And who I mean the guards. Stop playing with me, okay? And not all guards are bad, but there are some that are, and these ones are apparently down here in this jailhouse.
Jail is the house of death, whether we like it or not. And those in this jail, some of them are being stuck in this jail because the courts are moving so slow. The courts are just resetting and resetting and resetting and resetting, leaving them to wallow and live in squalor. Some in this jail have even sent pictures anonymously that the conditions are less than third world country. This is a
Well, you know what? It is not home, and it's not your homeboy's house or that good woman that you once was with or lived with or that was taking care of you or assisting you. You got to go through some shit when you have a hard head. Period. It's not supposed to be champagne, popping champagne and eating caviar. It's not supposed to be that. So I get it. You know, and it's supposed to be a place. You're supposed to be uncomfortable. You're not supposed to be like, "Ooh, this is the place to be." The event, okay? Let's not start. All right. So I get that part, okay, but I don't get the other part. You understand? Told y'all stay y'all's ass out the white man's prisons. Stop acting like jail is cool. Like you can't go out here and get a job. But on some real shit, I'm going to play the devil's advocate and I'm going to flip the script. When you get a felony conviction, it does interfere with you getting a job. It does interfere with you getting housing. It does interfere. You know, gun charges will bar you out of the whole social structure of any type of normalcy, because once you get convicted for having a gun charge, or certain crimes on your record, you really have to be a criminal, though. You really have to, because at that point, you know, people in positions of homelessness, people in positions that can't get work because after they go to jail, people treat them like they still out here committing these crimes. They don't hire them. They can't get their query sealed right away, their records sealed right away. So of course they don't have no means to know, ways, because what are they doing? They don't have no skills. The jails don't teach skills anymore. So when they come out here, they can't go live with their girlfriend. 9 times out of 10, they go to the shelter, or they just gotta put themselves at risk to survive out here. So, it's tough. Try not to put yourself in that situation. Don't want to be a hustler, man, because you might want to get money, right? Say you end up starting to sell weed and shit, right? So, you know what I mean? When you sell weed, that makes you interact with so many people, right? And like, say you like just the type that's a fly guy and just like to get money, you sell your little weed, you keep it pushing, you sell your little drugs and you keep it pushing. It start as simple as that enticement to get a few dollars. You selling to your friends. Then you know you start meeting people, but you don't know these people you meeting. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know them. I'm going to try another light for a second. So, what can happen is, you know, you get robbed. Now you get robbed. Your reputation's out there. It's around the town. Damn. And now you be like, F that. That's not going to happen to me again. Instead of saying, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be selling these drugs. Let me go get a job. Okay, that's a sign. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be out here in these streets doing this. But you don't say that. You say, F it, I'm going to go get a gun. Now you selling the weed and you got the gun. And if you got the gun and after being robbed, you're going to be like, damn, the next person come at me, I'm going to lace them. You're going to either get killed or you're going to be willing to kill. You're going to be, you're going to be willing to be killed. You understand? You're gonna be like that. You're gonna be like, all because like a couple of bags of weed, and the next thing you know, you're in prison with those people, and you're really not a bad guy, but you did a bad thing. You understand? But the judge ain't gonna be like that. He gonna go by that law that you broke and lock you up, even if you was a good guy, because you didn't want to take the good route. You didn't want to take it. So when you don't want to take the good route, or you be with people that you might not be breaking no laws, but you around the people that do, you're gonna get caught up. You're gonna be caught. You're gonna get caught up for not making a decision, the right decision. That if you're not about that, you shouldn't be around that. Don't be complaining and crying now when you invite that type of stuff in your life, man. And I feel bad for these parents and them suffering their loss, you know what I mean? Because they all do say that their people did something. But this doesn't warranty no motherfucking death by people who's supposed to protect you and supposed to be upholding the law and you have a job. Okay? Period. Let me y'all know I'm in my feelings, but we gonna listen to this. Uh, Okay, guys, I gotta hurry up too, because I know I said, so let me finish letting y'all listen to this.
A change was taking place in this jail, and we demand immediate change. If the FBI needs to step in, the Department of Justice to step in and take over this jail, well, then what are you waiting on?
Amen.
Because if it was the same number of young white men dying in this jail, like it's young black men, they would have came in a long time ago and did something about this.
Facts.
Yeah. This mother's son just passed this jail, and she was speaking about the crazy circumstances of how she learned about her son's death, just to show you the blatant level of insensitivity when it comes to notifying families and loved ones of what's happening with their loved ones in this jail. Go ahead. Let's take your son.
Wait a minute.
My son is Kevin Leon.
Wait a minute. The blatant insensitivity mean how they don't give a fuck. In other words, about your loved ones that's going to these damn prisons out here. Okay? They don't care. They're not exercising their authority to protect your children in these jails. Jail is no place to go or be. Okay? Okay? Period.
Me Junior. I got an inside call from social media stating
that my son passed away. They seen him laying in the bunk. His pants was urine. They was already wet. When they picked him up on the stretcher, they made like they was doing CPR, which was not true. Pretending. When I called and called, no one reached out to me. Going through all the emotions. Finally, a chaplain called me close to 1 o'clock. Y'all say my son was transported to Bentorb Hospital. He was out Harris County system at 9:12 a.m. How did y'all even know he was dead at 9:12 a.m.? If you go on your records and look now, it's stating my son is still active in Harris County on the 5th floor. Not he's deceased. He had court February the 3rd, which he was coming home that Friday. Y'all reset it and said he'll be reset to next February the 24th. How you reset a deceased body? That's what I'm not understanding. Then when I called up here, I have to call up here and let them know my son did in the custody of them. I'm not confident. I'm not confident in that resetting. Whatever that resetting is, I am not confident in that policy. I think that is a system where it is too many hands in the pot. A line of corruption, back to back supporting one another's bullshit ass story. Ha! Stop playing. And let me tell you, corruption has no race. Corruption just means I'm willing to keep your secrets. Okay? I'm willing to lie for you, knowing that it's a lie. Corruption. But every lie has a consequence, and it will come back to bite you. Believe that. You might get the upper hand now, but later is what tell the stories in these cases. Go on, Mama. Tell your story. He wasn't at home. He was in their custody. Whether they overstaffed, understaffed, and all that, I know for a fact you have 2 guards that watches that floor at night. Kevin wasn't in the 1 or 2 cell. He was housed in the big cell where it was opening. Nobody seen nothing, supposedly, but I have some that's willing to talk, but I don't want to put them children in danger for their parents to get the same call saying that they left. Amen. They scared to say something because the guard, as they said, whooping their ass. But this one right here, Kevin Leon Smith Jr., Zydeco Kevo, gonna shake the world. This body right here is not gonna stop till we get. Mama said he gonna shake the world. Supposedly did CPR. Everybody that supposedly transported them, the staff that was working that night, the ones that watched the switchboard. I want camera footages for. If I got to pay and get my last dime. This death right here would not go unsolved. Amen, Mama. And then y'all have the nerves to call me and tell me I can come pick up his property, a cell phone, and clothes that when y'all locked my son up, July the 1st, y'all got a newspaper article that was just printed out Wednesday, stating he's from Katy. He's not. Stating that he was 24 years old on a $10,000 bond. Not. Stating that y'all just served my house July the 26th. July 26th. All of these stories or statements, let's say statements they gave were untrue. And if you notice, it's multiple players involved. That is what evil in the oath and corruption is. It's silence. You don't know who is working together and who is willing to and who is willing to work together. That's why they be like, we everywhere. Yes, you evil motherfuckers are. Y'all surely are everywhere. You didn't lie about that. And you don't know. You can be a casualty of these goddamn type of people. Stop playing with me. This is a serious matter. He said they whooping their ass. Lord forgive me. I'm sorry, but I know that ass whooping from your mama wasn't like that. Oh Lord, this is a serious. I'm sorry, but those wasn't the words to you. But excuse me, that's the best way he can. The best way he can explain the truth. That's not funny, but my condolences go out to those people, man. All I could think about is little baby right now. He is like, pull up on you with that switch, like your mama on your ass. He meant guns, but they meant lumps and clumps. Mm.
It was in y'all custody. Who did y'all serve papers to? Who did they serve? And it's sad. It's truly sad. I'm just holding together. Then when I call up here to get information, tell us we not the parent. He'll say he have no next of kin. And I know he has no next of kin. But we is his mother and father. And I'm saying y'all he had no next of kin.
Maybe they got him confused with somebody.
And to the lawyer call. I don't know if he a sergeant or deputy. Bailey was the phone call when I called. I spoke with that one. He told me my son was moved to TDC. You cannot move a body to TDC if you haven't got charged of a crime. How did you move him to TDC?
Now are they getting these?
My son to guard Darby unit.
Wait a minute. Are they getting the slave names confused? This is what happens when you have 50 million Smiths and Hartfields and Davenports and all of that bullish running around named after the goddamn plantations we came from. That's what happens. Okay? It's the truth. As we should continue to listen. Yeah. I feel bad for the sister.
Even though he was locked up. Mama, we eating good. They clean up here. I was able to see my son. He let us talk to him, had a pad, they can talk, we can see. My son gets shipped. He gets shipped back to Harris County custody, and I find out he dead. Y'all not even giving these people hygiene stuff. Even when I was doing commissary, y'all wasn't even getting them his bag stuff.
That's a shame. They really torturing them folks in there.
Y'all ain't get it. Yeah, it's there. We sent it. But he kept saying he ain't get it. Wasn't getting nothing. This one right here it's hard. And the only thing y'all look at is, oh, look what he charged with, this and that. Yeah, but y'all ain't proven guilty. A guilty person wasn't coming home. I don't give a damn if he sat out here and shot 9 people. At the end of the day, they don't give nobody no right to take nobody.
Amen.
You got serial killers and everybody up out here still. Y'all letting them out on $2 bonds. They come out and do the same thing. Really?
Right. Serial killers.
Y'all don't have the decency to call and tell a parent, a family, nothing that's going on with their loved ones in here. He's just a number. I lost my brother-in-law 3 weeks prior to that. Gary Wayne Smith is my big brother. The third victim that got the third victim here said he died of a seizure. He don't have seizure. They have seizure. Y'all still don't have a motive how Kevin died of it.
Making up stuff
y'all
as they go along.
Emergency medical. What emergency medical? I'm his mother, and I ain't never known he had emergency medical.
It sounds good. Emergency medical. What is
Tracy
that?
Tracy Lee Woodson -Smith. TracyLeeWoodson -SMITH.
Justice for this young man.
Right, sorry. How y'all doing? My name is Kevin Smith, Senior. Kevin Jr. was my son. Zydeco Kivo. The spelling of my name is KEVINLEONSMITH. Senior.
Senior, may your son, may you rest in condolences, Senior.
It's too much going on. We just talked to my son the night before. She called me to say, I wasn't going to tell you. She said, baby, but he be home Friday. She was so excited. He was excited. He told her, he said, Mama, I got to get off the phone with y'all because I need to call everybody and let them know that party is going down. Two things I always told my son, I never.
So busy to rush out the phone and call other people. That was the last call. He said the party is going down. Was these the victims, people that got at this young man? Was these the victims, people that got at this young man? If so, that is so sad. Do not hire people in the community because this is the reasons why. There's more stories to come from this. I'm just bringing awareness to the story again. It's on channel 2, KPRC2. Okay, this was 3 days ago. 95,000 views this got, this channel. But let us make this go viral. Keep this in the spotlight. Talk about it. Talk about it at the cooler. Talk about it at your community forums. Talk about it to anyone who wants to listen. Share it on your page.
I don't want to see him. Jail or locked up. Locked up or dead. My son in both places. He in both places, man.
Somebody need to come.
Some got to come, man. They just got to come on with it. They got to come with it, man. For real. For real, they got to come with this.
In both places.
Then my brother, on top of that, my brother, 2.5 weeks before that, my brother passed. Then my son was the last person to see my brother because he called us and said, Pop, I just saw Uncle Gary pass by. He never made it back to the cell.
Wow.
Never made it back.
Wow. Short walk.
He dead.
Short walk.
Before I say something else, let Dr. Matthews speak.
All right, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I'm in the capacity of the vice chair for the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats statewide. Ed Gonzalez is one of our candidates that we endorse, and we also will hold him accountable to ensure that this atrocity is being handled correctly. Because according to these documents, these are federal laws that has been broken here.
Absolutely.
In Harris County Jail. The first one falls under the 8th Amendment. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel or unusual punishment inflicted. Now, I'm going to go directly to the Government Code, Title 4, Executive Branch, Subtitle G, Corrections, Chapter 501, Inmate Welfare, Chapter A, General Welfare Provisions, which is Section 501.055, Report of Inmate Death. Part C, if an inmate dies as described in subsection B1, the department or an authorized official of the department shall immediately attempt to notify the next of kin of the inmate that the inmate has died. State the time of death of the inmate and inform the next of kin that unless the next of kin objects to the department's within 8 hours of the stated time of death, an autopsy will be conducted on the inmate. Well, clearly this law was.
So I think people that work at the jailhouses, when they be like, you are a ward of the state, because they still call prisoners wards of the state. Doesn't mean like orphans of the state, like the state owns you. You can be an orphan of the state at 70, at 80. It depends on what age you commit the crime. They have it from as young as the earliest you go, you can be booked and arraigned and sentenced, as old as you can be booked, arraigned, and sentenced. So it's really sad and heartbreaking because these people, although they are in the custody of the prison, they're not safe. They're not safe from the prison guards, not even amongst themselves. I mean, that's one beef, like, but they're like, damn, they're getting it on all angles. Whew. Our young brothers, man, we got to pray the blood of Jesus over our young brothers in prison because it's rough and tough in there. I'm telling you. Okay, we're going to continue to listen.
Broken because she received calls from random people on social media. So that's what we're doing in Harris County. We just calling folks on social media and not calling officially within that 8-period time frame according to federal law. That's not happening here. So Ed Gonzalez, you're going to have to tighten up, sir. Now, I am going to say that we do have a meeting with Ed Gonzalez on Thursday at 12 noon. Myself and other leadership here in the Houston area in reference to what is happening in this jail. So, Brother Cornell is absolutely right. This is the house of death. It is. Because you can check in, but you can't check out. Well, we're going to ensure that we're going to get a tightening on that. Because at the end of the day, this is unacceptable. And the law is the law, and it needs to be followed.
That's right.
Thank
you. Amen.
Hi.
We're bringing awareness to this matter.
Barrett. My husband was Gregory Bernard Barrett.
A Muslim guy.
He was actually here for a parole violation, but he had a parole hearing for September 3rd that had been reset for September 3rd. It had been reset twice. He
reset again,
died
guys.
in the isolation cell. They actually put him in the isolation cell after they tested him for COVID. They put him in the isolation cell. I talked to him Friday morning. He told me, he gave me the symptoms. I told him what he had. Because I work for Harris County. I've been there for 28 years. They did not know that because it wasn't on the paperwork. They found that out Saturday morning when I walked in to check on him. That's when they found out. And they were shocked. The chaplain came out.
Wow.
She told me she needed to talk to me.
That was some sneaky.
She wanted me to put my things in a locker. She took me back, followed by a deputy or two. Took me to a room and told me that they found my husband unresponsive in his cell. I said he wasn't in his cell because I'm now at Baker Street. Not at the new jail where he was at. She said they found him at 10-something. What happened in the time that he was put in an isolation cell at 11-something on Friday, he was not checked per the coroner. The coroner told me himself, the chief coroner, Dr. Wolf, told me that his core temperature was still high. He had a high temperature. He was not seen. From the time that he was put in that isolation cell on Friday at 11 a.m. until they found him unresponsive with a gash in his head from falling on the concrete floor in the isolation cell on Saturday morning. So what happened to those ships that did not check him? Did he knock on the door? Did he scream for help? Did he ask the staff to help him? My thing is this. These inmates are not dogs. They deserve help.
Yes,
and I know y'all not helping him because when he first got here, he called and told me that he had been walking around with no socks and no shoes for 3 days. He went to court with no socks and no shoes on. He was cold. I had to call down here to the regular jail and beg another deputy to please get him some socks and some shoes and a blanket because my husband was cold and shivering on the phone. And that makes no sense. These inmates are not animals. Treat them with the same dignity that you would treat your brothers and your fathers and your sons and your kids. Don't treat them like dogs. They are not dogs. Treat them like you would treat your family.
I agree.
Now, this man, my little 9-year-old grandchild, he don't even want to come to the house because this man is not here.
I definitely want this brother to tell his story of what happened to him in this jail. Come over here, brother.
Before this brother tell his story of what happened, it's like, when you rock with your family member and they're no longer here on this earth anymore, it's the most unbearable feeling you can have. A feeling of incomplete, a feeling of like a void that you can't do nothing about but just live with it. The babies, they don't be knowing like about death, but they know something's wrong. They know you're not coming back. It's very heartbreaking that her family has been torn apart. And he seemed like a straight, like a Muslim clean cut guy. For him to be barefooted and no shirt on, come on occasions, he's a grown man, right? That his wife had to call and they respected her word as to giving that grown black man a shirt, some socks, and shoes. Simple stuff, minute. And that was an elder man. That was an old man, like I just said a couple of sentences ago. You can become a ward of the state at an old age. It can happen. Okay? And he contracted COVID. And if you remember how COVID was when they had given up on the people in prison and let them stay in there. In some prisons, they had completely abandoned their job, left those prisoners in there to die, to become infected and like infested, like an outbreak. When COVID was here, when COVID first happened, people was sending their stories home via their cell phones. Thank God for that. But this brother right here, you're going to hear his story, okay? Listen to this brother, what happened to him when he went to this jail place.
How y'all doing?
What's your name, sir? How you spell it? What's your name?
My name is Tron Medis. My name is Tron Medis, spelled Tron. Last name Medis, M as in Mary, A-D-I-S-E, M-A-D-I-S-E, Medis. So I was attacked while in Harris County. I came to jail on a weapons charge, just trying to protect myself because the job that I was working at, the place on side of it was
The
robbed 3 times since I was there. But anyway, I get to the jail. I'm in for a while. What happened? The officer must have mistaken me for somebody else. Grabbed me, and I wrote him up because he twisted my arm. So when he found out I wrote him up, I got written up, and I was transferred, and the officer.
This is why you cannot complain in these institutions, because people go back low key. They don't never have to tell you they know that you complain, but you can tell in the movement, the way they're acting. This is why people get harmed every day and hurt. Prime example, he went and complained about the treatment he received from the handling of an officer, and this is how they played him. These things happen.
I wrote up, transferred me to the murder tank, which they call the murder tank, and it was already on quarantine, so no one was even supposed to go in that cell. He forced me to go in that cell after I told him I didn't want to go in there, but he told me I had to go in there, and he made me go in. Upon being in there, I wasn't even in there long. I was attacked by 8 individuals when I went into the cell. They closed the door on me and they jumped me. They beat me. I'm screaming for help and I'm thinking I'm about to die. And they just standing there looking at me. They broke my ribs. They broke my shoulder, my right shoulder, my right knee. They stitched my eye back in.
Pray for your people in jail.
He was on my side to save me because I wouldn't have made it out. When they finally came in the cell to pull me out, it was because an old man, he started beating on the window and screaming for help, and then they left me and went and started attacking him. And that's what made them come in and pull them off the old man. So I started screaming at the bars, like, come get me, help me. And they came and pulled me out, and they was laughing at me the whole time. So when I get downstairs and they bring me to see the nurses, right? When they bring me to see the nurses, they're laughing at me, and because I'm in so much pain and I'm crying, they're telling me to shut up or I'm gonna put you in a hole. So the one lady, she tell the other officer, put him in a hole. And so it was a black nurse. She heard what happened and she was like, no, y'all cannot put him in a hole. And she sit by my side until the ambulance came to make sure I got sent to Bental. And I was in the emergency room, the ICU, for a couple of days.
A black nurse, God bless that lady. Okay? Because these are the people that has to help our people when we're not present. People who have to intervene and say, no, not on my watch. These are the people. God bless that black nurse who recognized an evil was being committed on her watch, who was willing to risk her life as well as her job, her income. Listen, like I said, evil and corruption come in all colors. It's just something that individuals agree with or agree upon. He said he wasn't even in there long. It's like 8 men jumped him, the militia closed the door and jumped him because he reported an officer.
And the only way my family found out, it was because a nurse at the jail, he snuck me a pen and paper, blocked the police from me giving him my information to contact my family. He blocked the police and slipped me a pen and a piece of paper, and had me to write my current fiance's number down and my sister's number. And he called them and told them what had happened to me while I was in there. Sorry. Okay. So when my family found out and they got me, finding me out, I contacted attorney Lewis and I told her what happened. So she's now representing me, attorney Lewis from the Lewis Law Group. And
They will silence you. Well, again, this story is from KPRC to Click to Houston. And again, I am bringing awareness, so please share this video and let everyone know, and most of all, pray for your loved ones. Thank you for watching. I am your host, Mz Hartfield.